Hello everyone, I'm Baruffy1322 and welcome to another month of community verified tracks where we've got more to showcase. This video is brought to you by the Choking Hazard podcast. Search for it on your favourite podcast provider or check out bruffy.com/podcast for the latest episode and much more via the link in the description. And we're starting actually with two of my own tracks today. Because LSGP and the North Loop have both had improvements made to them. They've been available for a while, but I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to showcase them, whether make a separate video entirely for them. But I've decided that the best way to do it is just to include them in one of these community verified streams as some bonus tracks at the start. So we've got 5 regular submissions on PS5, 3 on Xbox, and then we'll be doing 2 tracks on PC as part of the regular community verified track showcases. But the first 2 tracks are going to be my circuits. And they've had a new coat of paint. LSGP first of all, the first proper circuit that I created. I think it was week 131 of these community verified showcases. I did a creator battle for all of LSGP, and we had 7 different versions of LSGP that were made by people in the community. This was back when 200 props were a limitation, and with the move to 300 props on PS5 and Xbox, thanks to Obst who recreated it, we were able to take the best parts of those creator battle circuits and make it into this. So this is the full 300 prop new LSGP. It's available on PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's also available on Project Homecoming and 8th Gear, as are the shorter variations available on all those platforms as well. So the upper loop and the lower loop, which contain just the upper portion and the lower portion. It's always been a part of my circuits to have shorter variations. The only place you can't get this track, or the upcoming better North Loop, is PC. Because PC is still on the old gen version of the game and doesn't have 300 props, so it would be impossible to make this track on PC. So whenever PC eventually joins the modern world in terms of the proper version of the game, we will get it created over there, and you can always find my up-to-date circuits on bruffy.com/tracks. I will leave the links in the description alongside the other circuits as well. As always, the links for all of these tracks that we see today are in the description of the video. But yeah, it is available. The new versions of my tracks with all 300 props and nicely made are all available on PS5 and Xbox, and you can find the links to them on bruffy.com/tracks. I thought I'd use the regular Jester for this because this is where I showed off curb boosting's potential on this straight, on the old version of LSGP. LSGP has the original versions available as well on the website. So the 2014 version with the crossover and everything, and the 2016 versions with like the 7 different smaller variations we had. Those are all still available also, and you can get those if you want to, go back into the past a little bit. But yeah, it's really lovely, this recreation. Obst did a great job. And obviously thanks to all those who did the creator battle as well and provided a lot of the areas for the recreation to be made. This is the best that LSGP has ever been. I love the catch fencing details, and you can still see the other cars at different parts of the track. The grandstand at the start finish line and the pit lane, the sort of race control building at the crossover there. This on the outside, Ben Storr's wonderful grandstand creation on the outside of the hairpin, just amazing. Yeah, just I'm so happy with how it's turned out, and big thanks to everybody who's put in any kind of effort to make LSGP back, you know, to the best that it can possibly be, with the original layout as well, crossover and all. But now we've got a bridge to cover it over. And yeah, I love the pit lane. It's just really nice. So there's LSGP. We got North Loop next. All right, North Loop, my second proper created circuit that was, you know, inspired by the Nürburgring Nordschleife. I love the pit lane and start finish straight of this one now. We'll see it at the end of the lap, obviously, in more detail as we go past it. But damn, Gauntlet Hellfire with that acceleration. But yeah, this is improved as well, and I think it's improved not only in you know, the propping and using sort of better props and whatnot. I think it's improved in just the feel of it now. We've got a lot more decoration as well, because obviously with 300 props and not that much needing to be propped, we had a lot more space to play with. Again, big thanks to Obst who did most of the work on the North Loop. I've obviously he's basically been the person who's been doing the work, like actually placing down the props and doing all that kind of stuff, and then I've been saying whether I like that or not, and I'm the director, I guess. So, you know, big thanks to him for making this be possible. But the new North Loop, I mean, there's not an awful lot that needed changing with the North Loop, but it's a lot more simpler now in terms of the propping. We wanted to move away from a lot of the propping that we had on the previous version, because North Loop just doesn't need it. Like, it just doesn't need all those props on, you know, the apexes of the downhills and whatever. It's just it's so much better when it's all open. Once again, you can get this on PS5, Xbox Series X, and it's available on the two 5M servers, 8th Gear and Project Homecoming. And again, it's like I think it's the best North Loop's ever been. Some people still prefer the original 2016 or 2014 version or whatever it was, that just has no propping whatsoever. But I really like this version. It just it is, you know, it has the props where it needs it. It has the decoration where it looks nice, but then most of it is left to be the naturally incredible track that it is. And of course, on the 5M servers, both Project Homecoming and 8th Gear, there's LSGP North Loop as well. We got rid of the merge section as well, by the way, here. Just, I think it's nicer like this. Again, going back to the more natural version of the track. But yeah, LSGP North Loop, the big circuit, has been updated on the two servers to include the updated versions of each of the tracks. So you start off on LSGP like we've just seen. You do a little transition up through the hills, and then you end up on the North Loop. You do a lap of the North Loop, and then you go straight on here and go all the way back down and end up back to do the second half of LSGP. And that was always my my big desire to want to be able to have something like that with LSGP and North Loop connected. You know, if North Loop is trying to be the Nordschleife, I wanted sort of LSGP to, you know, connect with it and try to be the full, you know, Nürburgring Nordschleife 24-hour style layout. And yeah, it has been realised thanks to the skills of those Project Homecoming and 8th Gear server creators, allowing these massive tracks to exist. And thanks to Leosa as well, who did the transitions sections on those circuits, that circuit, because they look really great in the new versions. I'm really struggling on the more grippy second half of the North Loop. There are shorter variations of the North Loop as well. You've got the east and the west sides. Again, all of it can be found on broughy.com/tracks, all of the variations, and the older variations are still there as well. And available on all platforms except PC, obviously. But yeah, the North Loop, it hasn't changed much in terms of the way that you drive it, but it looks a lot nicer now, I think. The Gauntlet Hellfire was really good in the first half of the lap and on the big straights, but it's really struggled in the tight, twisty second half. Not a bad little comeback though. But yeah, that's LSGP and North Loop. Both brought up to modern standards, and the plan is to do the same with my other 3 main circuits for one last update of my tracks before GTA 5 stops. And the whole pit lane section here is just so cool. There's all little details on both of the circuits that are really nice, just add to the atmosphere. Imagine how vanilla would be without the creator. I know, right? Can you imagine how bad GTA 5 would be without the creator? The creator and the creator community is really what has kept this game alive for so many people for so long. Which is why I never understand why they don't, put more time and effort into it, give us more, more tools in the creator, give us dev creator stuff, but hey, it is what it is. At least it exists. And now we're going to see some new creations from the Community Verified program. Alright, now we're on to the main event. Tracks that have been submitted as part of the Community Verified program. broughy.com/verified to get all the information about that, and also if you want to that acceleration, if you want to submit your own circuits. I need to take advantage of this acceleration because as the race goes on and people get used to the track and people start maximizing their cars, the Cyclone's deficiencies in this D-tier supercars race are going to show themselves. Cyclone's basically only got acceleration. So yeah, we got 5 on PS5 that have been submitted. Obviously all new stuff and submitted by creators. As I was saying at the end of that race, what would the game be without the creator? But what would the game be without the creators and the incredible community who make these incredible circuit experiences? Yes, Rockstar gave us the tools, but it's the people utilizing those tools that have actually done the job. Yeah, I've already been caught up. Gonna struggle on some of these higher top speed sections where some of the other cars have better top speed and grip. The acceleration helped me early though. Quite a fast-paced circuit, this one. Some really nice custom sections, really nice smoothed over areas. On the notes it says the custom areas match the vibe of the rest of the track, and I can definitely agree with that. That's one of the sort of nuances that's starting to come into track creation these days. It's not just about sort of using the custom props to create new areas of a set of a map and link different parts together like it used to be. It is still all of that, but it's all about using the props and custom sections well enough such that they fit with the vibe of a track, or the theme of a track, or the location where this is. Yeah, overtaken with the top speed differential. I don't have the grip or the top speed. I've got acceleration, and on a track like this where it's quite a lot of higher speed stuff, I'm struggling as the race is going on. But yeah, like the custom sections, the props that are being used and all that kind of stuff, they really do fit the theme and the feel of the track, so that it doesn't feel like we actually, you know, having those props. It just feels like a natural extension of the roads in a way, in terms of the colours that you use, the type of propping that's used, the fact that some of the propping is used in, like there for example, just to smooth over that corner. It means that when that propping is used to extend the track entirely and create an entirely new section, it doesn't feel out of place because it's used consistently. And that's something that we've seen in some tracks in the past where it's, you know, it's jarring sometimes when, say, half of the track is the regular road, and then the other half of it is fully custom propping in like bright orange colours and all this kind of stuff. It just feels out of place. This definitely does not. Yeah, like one coherent track rather than just a lot of props slapped down. Really nice example, this, of that aspect, I think. Nice track as well. It's fun to drive. Kind of wish I was in something that had higher top speed but less grip. I bet this would be fun in an Adder or that Gauntlet Hellfire that I was in the last race. Very nice. Cyclone showed its deficiencies towards the end, but it was nice. Alright, Mesa Verde. Gotta take the opportunity to use the Ardent in a Sports Classics A tier race. Wait, is this a Sports Classics A tier race with no Turismos? This is beautiful. Not a single Turismo Classic. That's amazing. This might be the first time ever that I've done a Sports Classic race where the Turismo Classic was usable that I haven't seen a Turismo Classic. Very nice. It's nice to have some variety. So one note about this track is that there's a section that was taken from another creator. And it was mentioned in the description of the track, so checkpoint 34 section, taken from a different track, basically, from a different creator. Oh! Good old GTA sticking to the back of the car. But the important thing, and the thing to point out, is that obviously with GTA Lens, GTAlens.com, it is possible to do that. You know, it is possible to look at a track and get all the positions to the exact, you know, coordinates of all of the props on a certain track, so you can, and it's been invaluable with porting circuits doing that, you know, being able to make LSGP and North Loop on Xbox was only possible because it was possible to get every single prop lined up and placed perfectly thanks to GTA Lens and using all the coordinates and stuff. Thanks to Skipsteroo, I think, for doing those on Xbox for me, by the way, those original. See, there's a lot of people who go into all of the work to get my circuits available in multiple different platforms. But yeah, one of the downsides of that is the potential for plagiarism, with people just taking parts of other people's tracks. Now, it's not a problem to do that in terms of, okay, so it's this section, checkpoint 34, 35 section, so around here I guess is the area that's been taken from a different circuit made by somebody else. It's fine to do that in small doses if you ask, first of all, ask permission from the original creator and put it in the description of the video, of the track. So this circuit, it had in the description of the circuit checkpoint 34 section taken from whatever it was. I didn't fully read it, but I saw that it was there, and that's just good practice, you know. We don't want to see circuits be ripped from other people and certain sections ripped from other people and have plagiarism on circuits, especially if it's original things that have you know, been made with love and care and attention, and you can't just steal stuff without prior approval. Just good etiquette to ask for permission first and then give credit if you're ever going to take anything from any other circuit. And that was the same for all the LSGP creation. Obviously we did the creator battle, so that we had, you know, 7 different versions of LSGP. And I went and asked all of those people who were involved in that creator battle whether we could use what was made as part of that to make a big LSGP that contained the best parts of everything, and yeah, they were all okay with it. And I think I've got in the description of the race as well all the people who were involved in doing all those little different sections and whatnot, because credit is good to be given when it's needed. Can't just take things. That's why on Project Homecoming, for example, on the circuits there, you can see who made each track that they use. Yes, they can take tracks quite easily from vanilla GTA, but they give credit on Project Homecoming and 8th Gear and whatever on the servers to the original creators and whatnot. And they don't change the tracks apart from making them, you know, actually, if there's a problem or something that's specific to the server, they might need to do a little minor change, but they stay as they were intended to be created. Really nice track, this. I've been talking a lot about all of that because I think it's important to mention it all, but it's only one small section of this track that is relevant with that conversation. The rest of it, very nice circuit around the hills, utilizing a little bit of sort of the more narrow sections with the houses in a few moments as well, taking lots of different areas of road. Quite a long lap, some nice custom sections, nice smoothing just to change things up a little bit from the norm. Linking different parts of the map together and different roads together. Yeah, it's a nice example of a good hills circuit with a bit of uniqueness as well. Being shown up by Kawanashi in this one though. That's the difference between an average driver and a good driver. Oh yeah, I see, we go underneath the bridge that we went over earlier on in the lap. Yeah, nice layout. And nicely crafted as well. Alright, a roval. That is half road course, half oval. For those who don't know. The notes on this one say... Excellent start there. The notes on this one say a really nice roval that gives proper real-world roval vibes, except the purple. And we're in a muscle E tier race where I have chosen the Hustler against my better judgment, but I'm hoping it'll be alright on the oval section, assuming we go on it. Now I've got the top speed. That section reminds me of David Bowie Speedway. In fact, this whole section does. I think there were a number of previously famous roval style circuits mentioned in the description of this one. And David Bowie Speedway was one of those. There's not enough top speed sections for this Hustler. Are we ever going to go on the oval section? Oh, here we go. Hairpin onto it. Immersion ruined. Immersion ruined. You can't do the oval. Just on its own. It's not a proper roval if you can't do the oval. As one full flowing part of the circuit. There probably is a variant of this track that is just the oval, I would imagine, that has the props changed for that section so that you can do the full oval. But like with my like when I have the variants, the shorter variations of my circuits, all the props are still there from the full circuit. So if you do the upper loop of the full LSG, if you do the upper loop of LSGP and you drive the full LSGP, all the props for the full LSGP are still there, even though you're never going to see them if you don't, you know, when you're just doing the regular circuit, because you're cutting off half of it. I like that kind of stuff. So immersion definitely ruined on this one, that the oval isn't a proper oval and you can't just do it. Doesn't really matter though, to be fair. This is still a nice track. I really like the little bridge here. Just adds to, you know, the circuit. You know, airport circuits are sometimes a little bit boring because it's a lot of flat land. But it's nice to have, you know, bits of different aspects to it with the you know, the oval on the outside, with the little bridge in the middle. Go over and under. I think I'm frustrating these guys behind. They're probably itching to get past because they'd be quicker, but they can't get into a position to overtake because of my Hustler's top speed. Not an oval, just a massive C. One massive C. Yeah, it's just a big old C. The letter C rather than an O. It doesn't really matter, to be fair. It's not a big deal. It's just fun to mention these things. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Really nice creation on the outside there as well, with the whole like grandstand pit building type deal on the outside there. Really nice. Looks very impressive. Nice. Alright. a B-tier Mutz SUVs race, and I've chosen the iWagon because, well, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. It'll be good off the line though. At least I'll get that. It's like the Cyclone all over again. But they'll be coming up on me very quick. This isn't going to get the same level of advantage like the Cyclone did at the start. But I looked at the track map and it looked like it was quite tight and technical, this one, so at least in certain areas, so maybe the acceleration will be a little bit more helpful than in that Cyclone race where the track was a lot of top speed areas. So this is a themed circuit submitted under the themed category as an old style track, so you're only utilising all the old style props. It's a land race rather than a stunt race. The notes say that the main criticism for this is that it isn't maxed out on prop removals. So instead of, you know, just removing a load of lampposts, because we get 100 prop removals now, there's you know, props, you know, tires around lampposts and janky chicanes and things like that, instead of props being removed, which would make it a lot easier. I guess it's a design decision. But yeah, I think even on an old style track, you might as well remove as many props as possible. Just make it a little bit cleaner. The one thing I don't like about old style tracks is the bridges, having to use these. That was always the case back in the day when people would make tracks with bridges before the stunt creator was a thing. The problem was always for me that those bridges looked ugly. Because you had to use these platforms. But there are interesting, like this category, I always find it interesting because it sort of shows us what would be possible if we didn't have the stunt creator. You know, if Cunning Stunts DLC had never happened and we never got the stunt creator, but we'd still gotten all the prop amount increases that we got, and you know, the prop removal increases. This is what would be possible ultimately. This is what tracks would be. And I think most of the time, whenever we get these old school, old style tracks, they're relatively nice. Like they're totally serviceable. They don't have the sort of pretty bells and whistles that, you know, you're accustomed to with the regular circuits that we normally play with the stunt creator. But they're perfectly serviceable, you know. You don't get crazy nice grandstands on the outside and stuff like that, but you definitely get a reasonably good driving experience. This iWagon is I think it wasn't too bad of a choice, to be honest. I'm having to defend over here though, because that top speed. Wait, what the? Oh, I got messed up with the no. Oh, it looked like it had been made an invisible prop or something. I didn't know what to do. I didn't go fully into that because I thought I was about to. Oh, I never noticed that the first lap. I think I could have had the overspeed if I hadn't have like gone into that too unsure about what I was about to go on. Damn. Because I had the acceleration out, but I was too hesitant on that section because I thought, wait, am I about to hit a curb? I didn't notice it on the first lap. Bollocks. That was the opportunity for a win. iWagon wasn't too bad of a decision, really. Well, we have floodlights on console. We're doing an off-roads E-tier race, so there's a wide variety of vehicles. I've got the Merryweather Mesa, June, Patriot Mil-Spec. We got Liberators and Marshalls. But the big thing on this track is we've got floodlights. Supposedly they have actually made their way to console. At least somehow. I don't know how these people do these things, but my god, they look incredible. PC has had access to these floodlights for a while, but they're like only via sort of dev creatory hacky type stuff. These just need to be available. Rockstar just absolutely needs to make these available. These look so good. These are what we need on the track that we use for the Christmas special random race. I need to hit up the Project Homecoming guys, see if they can put them on. Where it's always way too dark at night. They look fantastic. This track also does have some credit given to the previous, well, the inspiration for this circuit. It was inspired by Laguna Park by JB Car Freak, according to the description. Again, always good to see credit given when it's needed. Can you imagine the kind of things that could be? Like, this is just so cool, just racing around under these floodlights. It's a fun layout, you know. It's a nice, nice circuit. So, you know, going around some interesting locations. It's fully custom as well, isn't it? Like, you know, this is the other side of what we've just seen on the previous track. This is the limit of what's possible when it comes to utilizing only stunt creator custom props. This is the exact other end of the scale of what we've just seen with the old style track. Only using the stunt roads. The friggin' Marshall and Liberator have such good acceleration. They used to have the highest engine power of any vehicle in the game for a long time. These floodlights though just look incredible. Like, it just transforms the circuit. Rockstar just need to make these available to everybody. Please, Rockstar. Before there's no point anymore and we're on GTA 6. Too busy removing content. Yeah, that's what Rockstar, too busy removing content. That's true. Don't have enough acceleration. What a lovely, lovely circuit. That was all my fault. Well, I could just take a lovely look at the circuit while I wait. Beautiful. After 10 years, you'd think they'd just release the dev creator. I know. What do they gain from keeping these things hidden for not everybody to use? Just release all these advanced features for everybody and all these extra props. Just make it happen. Some more great tracks again on PS5. Thank you, Box, for hosting. We'll move over to Xbox now. Alright, now we're on Xbox. We got 3 tracks to showcase on Xbox. Again, Profit.com/verified if you want to submit your own circuits to this. And all the information about how it all works is on Profit.com verified. And all the links to all the tracks that we've seen today are in the description. As well as the playlists that we've used, if you want to just race those. Oh, I'm getting swamped by HSW cars immediately. Friggin' Itali GTO Stinger TT. Oh, highest top speed car in the game and handles like trash. Okay, this has not been a good start for me. I picked the I was going to pick the HSW Banshee and then I thought, no, let's go for the Pariah. Because I want to actually have some grip. And the first part of the circuit is 2 massive straights, because of course. Oh. Okay, well that one's not on me now. I've done my waiting. Yeah, there's the Itali GTO Stinger TT doing Itali GTO Stinger TT things and not being able to drive. It's the Itali curse. Only the original Itali GTB handles nicely. The grotty Italis all handle terribly, whether it's the GTO, the Stinger TT. The RSX isn't great, but it's the best of the bad bunch. But the Itali GTB Pro-Gen made version, that's a beautiful handling supercar. So our first track on Xbox is a short and sweet circuit, which manages to feel unique due to an interesting mix of custom corners, according to my notes. I do like the start, even though I was complaining about it because I was struggling with the top speed of these HSW cars. I do like the start, the 2 long straights and then the big hairpin. And yeah, it does feel quite unique, this one. I also really liked that catch fencing detail around the last corner. And you sort of see it as you go past it on the other side. I'll try to point it out this time. Difficult section here though. Briar's definitely got the best grip of all of these HSW cars, but 150 mile an hour top speeds is difficult to overcome. So here to the left, it's not, yeah, a bit of catch fencing there, but like that's the other part of the track, which I always think is a nice detail when tracks do that. Bushes on the outside. Yeah, you can see people coming around the last corner there, look. It's cool. Oh, didn't brake early enough there. Yeah, it's a really nice creation, this. I just hear someone cough on the in-game the in-game audio. I thought I had that turned off. Jump scare, I know. We are in October. Yeah, it's really nice. I like this. I see some of you in the chat saying good track for a random all, but not really. It's a bit long. It's like a minute and a half in the fastest kind of sports cars. We'd get like 10 or 12 cars if we did this for a random all. Maybe 25 minutes. Hasn't stopped you before. Well, to be fair, those were the early random all races. When we had some of the longer tracks. We don't really do those tracks anymore because it's better to have more cars, I think. Been no match for the top speed of the HSW cars in this one. Hasn't been enough corner sections to make up the time. I've ended up pushing too much there to try and make up the time. Get beaten to the line as well, god damn it. Nice track though, very nice. Alright, I'm going to struggle in this one, in this E-tier supers race in my Vaca. The 811 was the right pick here with all these top speed sections. So there's a couple of 811s, there's about 5 of them actually. It was everyone at the front. Yep, there they all go. In the end, the XXR might not do too badly on the smooth roads. It loses speed with the more bumps that there are, so... Yeah, I am not going to do well here. I only had the Vaca or the Infernus to choose from in this tier from my selection of cars on Xbox. No. Exclusive car though, can't buy this anymore. Excellent re-entry, fantastic. Well, it's all about the tracks anyway, at least. The notes for this one says that this track has some nice custom sections. Maybe lacks a little bit of polish for 2023, but still very playable. And I'm going to be racing most of it on my own, I think. I'm down on top speed even to a GP1. I love the Vaca. The Vaca is such a nice car to drive. It's an old car. It's a 2013 car where nothing had any top speed apart from like the Adder and the Z-Type. Literally 2 cars in the game that had a top speed over 120. I think there was a sports car that had 120-ish top speed, but I can't remember what it is now. Power creep, the way that this game has power crept it up in terms of top speed and lap time and whatnot. Crazy. So it's a longer circuit, this one, around the desert areas. Bit of grapeseed, bit of... Oh, did we do any grapeseed? Doing some sandy shores anyway. But a lot of the length is a lot of long straights, as I saw on the track map. Which is why I had a bad car pick.
Oh, what a scumbag!
Yeah, not this one wouldn't be a random old track either. Still shorter than North Loop, so it can be suggested as a random old track. Is that how it is? Anything shorter than North Loop gets the suggestion of a random old track. God damn it. Take advantage when people crash. I'm that far back. Yeah, in terms of like some slight improvements, I guess some of the polish that they were talking about in the notes could be like not having all those curbs be open. Look at the 811 just fly away. God damn it. Oh, this is just annoying. Poor Vaca. Yeah, definitely a top speed track. No doubt about that. If we'd done the previous class on here with the HSW sports cars, the Pariah wouldn't have even stood a chance. It would have been only HSW cars that were viable. Custom section over the water could use some more props too. Yeah, maybe. But it's you know, it's a nice track, and I agree. It's still very, you know, usable and playable and raceable on. See, the Vaca's beautiful handling in the Sandy Shores area. Sneak up the... Oh! Screw it, I'll just respawn. I tried to sneak up the inside, but there was a prop there. Probably a rock or something. Trying too hard to beat these 811s with the high top speed. There was no point either. Like, I was just going to get overtaken on the straights again anyway. Yeah, and nice. It's nice to mix it in sometimes with a higher top speed style circuit. You know, lots of longer straight sections. There's enough, you know, corners to piece it all together and add some elements of skill to maximise any corners. So it's nice to mix it up sometimes. Alright, final track for Xbox. It's a themed track, but it's in the artistic / challenge segment. It could have fit in themed as well. It's a drag strip, so we're going to do some drag racing. We shall follow Specky to this. Never mind. Wow, look at this creation, though. Like. So we've got like the area around the back with like the trailers and the tankers and stuff. You come through the spectator area and onto the drag strip. Look at it. This is really cool. Use the light as a reference. Does the light change? We've got to go no further forward than the cone, I guess. Oh, I see. Okay, alright. So we're going to have everybody race me. Is that how we're doing it? Alright, so we'll wait for it to flicker green. There it goes. That's really cool. Rip. The detail on this creation is stunning. Like all the little additions and the cones and the routes to get back and the awnings and stuff. This is beautiful. Alright, next one. There it goes, it flickers green. That's such a cool idea. How on earth did someone figure that? I wonder what it is. It must be like some rotating prop or something where it only shows the tiniest little bit. They're trying to wheelie, but it's not working. It's the little yellow curbs on the entry to the park by the side that I love. Oh, here. Yeah. Hey, it's so, like... Yeah, curbing. This is fantastic. The detail is just superb. Yeah, the gauntlet's the one. So far. We'll have a runoff for everybody who beats me. Gonna be tough to the line. Yeah, Weevil took it by the line. Didn't have the acceleration, but it had the top speed. Oh, I forgot about the Xero. HSW is turned off mine, but it was good enough without HSW. Got a better start that time. Moonbeam versus Faction Custom Donk. Damn, the Faction got some acceleration there. Neo takes that one of the Battle of the Weevils. Alright, 2 Weevils again. Oh, it was so close. Skipsteroo took it on this side, I think. That was very close. And Skipsteroo takes it. The Weevil takes the victory. Thank you, Specky, for hosting. We'll move on to the PC tracks now. Alright, now we're on PC. TarMac and cheese. Where the description of this track was the recipe for making mac and cheese. This is actually our only community verified track on PC this month. We do have a second track that we're going to be showcasing, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. The notes for this one: flowy track around the arena, functionally sound but lacks in the visuals. But the reason we're in the clown vans is because we wanted to do a clown van race last month, and we were about to do it, and then the track didn't allow vans. Thankfully this one does. So for those track makers, you do know that you can you can enable vans, right? They are a legitimate class that you can enable. A lot of track makers don't bother. You've got to have a large grid to do it, but there was always a trick. There was always a trick to make it work, and I'm pretty sure that's still a thing. You set it to you set your medium grid, and then you go back in after saving or publishing the track. Just change the grid setting to large, and it'll work. And it doesn't actually change the size of the grid. And then you can enable vans as a class. It's always disappointing when we want to do a vans race and then it's not available on the track. As a general rule, all vehicles should be enabled at all times. But we get our vans race this month instead. Yeah, the clown van's always a fun one with all the little sounds it makes. It's still the horn that I have on all my cars because it's just the most distinct. When you're coming up to lap people and you want them to hear you, the clown van horn, it's just perfect. So yeah, I guess I can see what was being said when it comes to the visuals in terms of it lacks a little bit in terms of visuals. It's a little drab visually, but functionally it does the job. Would be nice to, well, I suppose it is covered a little bit. It's still a little curb surfy. But then again, we've got to remember that PC doesn't have 300 props. PC still only has 200 props from just like the old gen versions of the game, so there's a lot less that can be done on PC in comparison to the PS5 and Xbox tracks that we've just seen. That's 100 props that could transform this track visually. Not much more would need to be done to it functionally, so a lot of those 100 extra props could just go to visuals. PC doesn't get that. Which is why the aforementioned LSGP and Northloop on PC are the older versions and you don't get the full versions. And maybe also why we're starting to see some a lot less tracks submitted and general not very many tracks to go over on the PC community verified program. It's unfortunate. I'll talk about it in the next track. I don't think Rockstar are doing much to help the PC community of GTA, unfortunately. Fun little track though. And it was nice to do our clown van race, finally. Alright, so a little bonus track for this one. This was chosen by our host, Leosa. Thanks Leosa for hosting the playlist. Same for Specky on Xbox and Box on PS5. But considering we only had one circuit to showcase on PC, it was decided, hey, tell you what, let me go to the back. It was decided, let's add something else, something that's going to be good, you know, something to showcase what's possible and a great track. I gave Leosa the task of make it a good track so that we can, you know, really showcase something great, and this is what Leosa chose. But yeah, it's a little bit dire at the moment when it comes to PC track submissions. I mean, it's not a problem because we have the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of the community verified program, and we're showcasing tracks from them every month. But it would be nice to get some more. Oh, made it work beautifully. It would be nice to get some more PC track submissions to go over and showcase, because they are out there. You know, there's a lot of great tracks on PC that, for whatever reason, aren't getting submitted. Don't be afraid, creators. Just get them submitted. I mean, it could also be that, you know, the creators who made these great tracks are just not active anymore at the moment, just because of the way Rockstar are treating PC, which is understandable. But yeah, it would be nice to get some more submissions. Again, Bruffy.com/tracks, you can get to all the submission forms. Doesn't have to be regular circuits either. It can be, you know, stunt races and artistic things and special stuff like that drag strip that we just saw on Xbox that was fantastic. That's one of the best creations I think I've ever seen. From a feel and theme perspective and immersion. The note that Leosa put for this one as to the reason why they chose it is it's a grapeseed track that feels unique in 2023, which is very difficult to do these days. And that is true. Especially with, you know, less props on PC. It is very nice. Very nice grapeseed track. It is really weird why Rockstar have just neglected PC. You know, all the HSW stuff that still isn't here. The lack of update to the creator. Like, they obviously initially wanted to push the new gen version of the game on PS5 and Series X, but it's been a year and a half now and they still don't have it. But also, you'd have to assume that GTA 6, that's going to be releasing first on the consoles, isn't it? So maybe they want to keep pushing people towards getting the consoles rather than PC, because then they'll increase their sales for GTA 6. They want more people to buy PS5s and Xbox Series X's, so there'll be more people on those platforms to buy GTA 6 when that releases. Because they're obviously never going to release GTA 6 day one on PC. Because GTA 5 took, what, 2 years to release on PC? Maybe they'll release Expanded and Enhanced on PC when GTA 6 releases. It's like, oh, we're not giving you GTA 6, but you can finally have HSW cars. Lovely track this. This has been nice to drive around and discuss all these things. But it's the same story as what we were talking about at the start of the showcase, with all the extra props and, you know, the floodlights and things like that are all locked off and can't be used by everybody and aren't meant to be used by anybody. Just weird restrictions. That's always been the case with Rockstar. Can I get top 5 by the line? Yes. I didn't even need to use the top speed. I thought I could have done it anyway with the top speed, but top 5's always possible. Well, like I said, all the info is in the description. Brevy.com/verified for all the info on the community verified stuff. All the links to all the tracks are down below in the description as well. We'll include the link to this one also, even though it's not part of the official community verified program procedure. And yeah, my tracks as well, the updated versions on all the platforms except PC. Check it all out. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one next month.